Hello, today I'm going to show you how to do a quick shoulder day at home with just resistance bands. So what we're going to be doing for most of it is stepping inside the band for overhead press, upright rows, and traps. You want to make sure the band is running in the middle of your foot, slightly to the back, or slightly a little bit behind the middle of your foot if you're like me. And what you do is you use your knees and legs as an indicator and give a little tug to make sure you have equal tension on each side. Scoop it up and set yourself up like you're holding a barbell to perform overhead press. And to give a side view, the reason why these are great, as it gives you a good indicator of where your elbow is. If your hands are too forward, you want to make sure you're really getting your elbows underneath as you're mimicking a barbell overhead press here. There's also a single-handed variation. You run the band behind you and step on it with one foot. Get roughly the middle of the band, and it's very easy to set up. If you're taller, you might want to bend down and get it set up. But once you have it set, you can just go ahead and perform your set. I'll just give you a side view of this. Once again, you could use this as also an indicator of if you're getting your elbow up and under that barbell or dumbbell. So if you're like this, you want to be more like this. It's a good indicator of how you hold a barbell at the beginning of an overhead press. So we've gone ahead and gone over our anterior delts. You can also do some front raise variations that are very easy to figure out with bands. But those are what I usually use if I do banded exercises. Next, we're going to go into upright rows. There's two different upright row variations. One that's going to focus on the lateral deltoid more, which will be just driving the elbows up and bringing a barbell or the band only to the lower chest. Or you can bring your hands close together and perform humeral rotation. So you bring it up here and then you can rotate the humerus. This works out the entire glenohumeral socket and shifts a little bit more focus away from directly on the lateral deltoid. So once again, if you perform a lateral deltoid focus, you want to only go up to the upper chest, or the lower chest, sorry. And if you need to go any higher than that, you have to start rotating the humerus. You can go ahead and try it yourself, go here. Anything up here is going to feel like you're pretty much bringing structures beyond their natural range. So, go like this. And you'll realize you could literally bring it overhead if you want. I don't recommend that though. So that's what I do for upright rows. And then we got shoulder flies, which are very simple. You can set the band up in many different ways, but I set it up very simply. So you just go ahead and you want to keep it normal. You're not really trying to focus on getting tons out or using heavy weight. You're focused on a slower contraction and really making sure you're stretching the lateral deltoid throughout the entire range of motion. I'm going to let Evander show you what I mean. So, get your band. Remember, this doesn't need to be done heavy, even if you're larger, because you're not torquing the dumbbell, you're not throwing it up, and because you don't drop the weight at the end, you don't let go of the tension, you don't need to go heavy because you're keeping consistent tension on the entire lat throughout the entire range of motion. So if you find you're not getting enough tension at the start, you can go ahead and put your hand down, and then you can get more out of it. And the reason why I recommend just doing normal lateral raises and not trying to dump the jug or go like this is because it's just very simplistic to keep your hand in the pronated position as you do it instead of trying to flip your wrist with the band. Excuse me. So that's upright rows and shoulder flies for lateral deltoid. Now for rear deltoid, it's a very easy muscle. If you want to focus on the rear deltoid specifically, you're just going to do any type of reverse pec deck with a straight arm. It's called transverse abduction. And just to show you, you can grab the band like this if you want. You can double it up if you want. You can give yourself more leeway. You can give yourself more tension. So whatever works for you. With these bands, you will likely have to keep a pronated hand positioning. But if you have smaller bands like these, you can put your hands on the inside. If they roll up, just make sure it rolls up on both sides. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Put your hands on the inside of these and keep your hands neutral grip, and then perform it if you can. Whichever feels best for you. So that's pretty much it for rear delts. Just to go over a little bit of rear delt information though. When you perform rear delts, it's very easy to smash the lower trap. So if you go like this, you could feel the lower trap activate, but once you go about here, you feel the tension off the lower trap and it's on the rear delt. So the rear delt is basically, you're just not trying to overextend at the end of range of motion. And because this is lighter, you don't need to do it heavy, you just need to keep consistent tension on it. And because you're not using dumbbells, so let's say I do a bent over rear delt fly, I keep tension on the rear delt the entire range of motion. I'm not dropping a dumbbell, I'm not torquing the weight up, I'm fully stretching it. So I actually believe that resistance bands are one of the greatest tools available for lifters, for the rear delt specifically, because it helps you get a mind-muscle connection as you get a little bit more skilled. Other rear delt variations are pretty much just going to be various reverse pec deck exercises. Anything else is going to be, let's say, the rotation of the full humeral rotation upright rows and stuff. So you're most likely just going to be keeping with a reverse pec deck. And as long as you have a normal back routine, your upper back, your rear delts will grow. So now we're going to jump into traps. Take this point here. And we're going to go ahead and grab a thicker band. Not a much thicker band. We're going to keep it light today. I'm just showing. So what we're going to do is, this is great because beforehand you were stepping inside the band like this, which also works in this circumstance if you'd like. And all you pretty much do is make sure you have equal tension on both ends. You're off to the races. Go ahead and shrug. These are stretch shrugs, so you can't really do power based. Now if you want a lot more tension on these, you can double it up. And to give you an idea, this is not my biggest band at all. And we're going to go ahead and do some traps with it. I already did shoulders yesterday, but to give you an idea of how much tension you are able to actually get from this, you're able to get amazing amounts of tension. So yes, you can get it. That's not even close to my heaviest band. And I'd be honest, that feels heavier than trying to shrug out like 165, 175. So it is different though. You can't really, you're not cheating. You can't cheat in any way. You're pretty much just focused directly on performing your shrugs. When you perform shrugs, you want your feet to be at least shoulder width or farther with the band. The reason why is because you need a slightly wider grip in order to get full trap activation. And what I mean by that is not about putting more targeted muscle activation onto it. What I mean though is if you have dumbbells and your hands are too close together, you literally can't fully effectively contract the trap to its full potential because the arms are too close together. It's actually been proven with EMG studies. So that's why you need to be just slightly over shoulder width or anything wider than that. And with that, then you're able to really fully stretch out fully able to stretch out the trap and get a full activation, a full stretch of those upper trap fibers. So that's pretty much it. If there's any other questions you have or anything, go ahead and ask. I'm gonna go ahead and make a back video next. Thank you for watching. Bye.